The Dodgers just got hit with a brutal update on Max Muncy, and no one saw it coming. What was initially thought to be a minor issue has turned into a serious setback, with sources confirming Muncy's return is now delayed indefinitely. His absence leaves a massive hole in the Dodgers lineup and shakes up their trade deadline strategy. Will LA now go all in on a blockbuster move to fill the gap? Or are they banking on a risky internal fix? One thing's clear: the timing couldn't be worse. This changes everything for the Dodgers' playoff hopes. Stay tuned. This is urgent. The kind of news that hits not just the lineup card, but the entire locker room and Dodgers Nation. You need to hear this. What we feared might just be true. The Los Angeles Dodgers have officially received a bad update on veteran slugger Max Muncy, and it's a setback that no one truly saw coming. Not like this. The team had been holding on to hope. Fans, analysts, and even Muncy himself were optimistic that the discomfort in his right knee would pass. A bone bruise, after all, isn't usually considered season-threatening. But as it turns out, this wasn't just a mild knock. It's something far more frustrating, and for the Dodgers, it's now officially become a problem they can't ignore. According to Dave Roberts, Max Muncy is expected to be out for at least 6 more weeks. That's the optimistic timeline. The latest scans showed that while there's no structural damage, which is good news in the long run, the inflammation and lingering pain in Muncy's knee have not improved the way the training staff had hoped. In fact, the discomfort is persistent enough that Muncy hasn't been able to resume running, cutting, or taking full-speed reps at third base. What's worse? This means Muncy is now expected to be out until at least mid-September, possibly later depending on how he responds to treatment. That's not just missing a few series. That's missing a chunk of the season, right as the Dodgers are trying to stay afloat in an ultra-competitive National League playoff race. Think about that for a moment. Muncy, the man who has led the Dodgers in slugging percentage for multiple stretches, the left-handed bat that balances the top of the order, and the guy who's never shied away from clutch October moments, is now out of the equation for the foreseeable future. That is not something the Dodgers can just gloss over. And let's be real here. As much as the team has depth, replacing Max Muncy's production is no simple task. His presence in the lineup, his patience at the plate, and his ability to change a game with one swing, all of that is now missing, right as the Dodgers face crucial matchups down the stretch. Dave Roberts tried to stay positive in his latest media briefing, but even he couldn't fully hide the concern. He acknowledged the timeline and confirmed that Muncy isn't making the progress they'd hoped for. When asked if this could impact the Dodgers' trade deadline plans, Roberts gave a diplomatic answer saying no, that they'll stick to their original strategy. But let's be honest, how could this not change something? With Muncy out, the Dodgers are now incredibly thin at third base. Yes, they have Kike Hernandez. Yes, they can shift Miguel Rojas over. Even Chris Taylor has seen some reps at the hot corner. But none of those names can offer the power, the on-base consistency, or the veteran presence that Muncy brings. These are plug-in pieces, not long-term answers. And the scary part is, even with all this utility depth, the offense has already started to slow down. Since Muncy went on the IL, the Dodgers have seen a sharp decline in run production. The top half of the lineup, Betts, Freeman, Smith, are still elite. But once you drop into the lower third of the order, it's clear something's missing. That spark, that threat, that intimidating presence. Muncy brought that. And without him, pitchers are getting more aggressive, especially with guys like Teoscar Hernandez and Andy Pages. But this isn't just about the numbers. It's about the psychology of a team in the playoff hunt. When your core veteran goes down, and there's no firm timetable for his return, it casts a shadow. It creates questions. Can the next man up handle the pressure? Can the lineup stay consistent over a full 162? Can the Dodgers really push for the postseason with this many unknowns? Let's not forget this isn't the first injury setback the Dodgers have faced this year. They've already navigated absences from key contributors. Mookie Betts had his own scare. The rotation has been shuffled constantly. And now, with Muncy sidelined longer than expected, the Dodgers find themselves at a crossroads. The trade deadline is creeping closer. And this latest update on Max Muncy could very well be the moment that forces the front office to act. Yes, the Dodgers have a history of staying patient. Yes, they prefer long-term sustainability over panic moves. But let's be honest, this team is built to win now. With Shohei Ohtani DHing. With Betts and Freeman still in their prime. With a fanbase expecting a deep October run. You simply can't risk that kind of season slipping away because of an unresolved hole at third base. So now, the attention turns to potential replacements. Could the Dodgers swing a deal for a veteran third baseman? Names like Ryan McMahon, Jeimer Candelario, or even Eugenio Suarez have been floated around as possibilities. None of these guys are superstars, but they could provide the stopgap power and defense the team needs until or if Muncy returns. But even those trades come with risks. Would it cost a top prospect? Would it create a roster crunch when Muncy comes back? The Dodgers have to calculate all of that, and fast. Meanwhile, Muncy continues his rehab. Quietly. Determined. But the clock is ticking. Every week he's out, the pressure increases. Every series the Dodgers struggle to score runs, the urgency grows. And fans? They're watching closely. They've seen what Muncy means to this team. They've seen him deliver in big moments. And they know how fragile a contending window can be when injuries start to pile up. This is a gut punch for Dodgers fans. Not a season-ending injury, no. But a moment of truth. A turning point. Either the team adapts and finds a solution, or they risk falling behind. Because let's not forget the NL is stacked. Teams like the Braves, Phillies, and Brewers aren't waiting around. They're making moves. They're building playoff-ready rosters. And if the Dodgers want to keep pace, they need to respond. The silver lining? Muncy's injury, while frustrating, could light a fire under this team. It could galvanize the clubhouse. Give role players like Kick, Edman, or even rookie Michael Busch a chance to step up. It could even accelerate the Dodgers front office into making the exact kind of trade that sparks a second-half surge. But for now, one thing is clear. The Dodgers have received a bad update on one of their most important players. And no one expected it to be this long, this uncertain, or this disruptive. Max Muncy's absence is real, and it's already being felt. The next few weeks will tell us if this team has the resilience to rise or if the injury bug has finally taken too big a bite. If you're a Dodgers fan, now's the time to stay locked in. Follow every move, every lineup change, every rumor. Because the decisions made in the coming days could define this season and determine whether the Dodgers are legitimate title contenders or just another team with too many injuries and not enough